What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Let me switch myself to the other side. There I am. I'm over on the side that I want to be on. How's everybody doing tonight? It's James Hollingsworth on the Working People's Podcast with special guest, the one, the only. Give it up, everybody, for Rodney Williams.
Hey, Doc. There we go. Let's make it.
Let's make it happen. Hey, thank you all for joining in to the Working People's Podcast tonight. My buddy Rodney Williams is with us, and we are streaming live right here on the Working People's Podcast, where everybody wants to build generational wealth and a financial legacy for their families. We're streaming to YouTube, so if you're over there watching on YouTube, you know what to do. Press that subscribe button, press that thumbs up like button on the video. Also drop some comments below and ring that notification bell so you will get notified when we upload new videos and new content. Also, we're streaming live on the Facebook page here, my personal page, James Hollingsworth, and on the Facebook page, the Working People's Podcast. And guess what? We're also streaming live to. We're streaming live to Second Friendship. Second Friendship. Is it Baptist Church? What is it?
Church.
It is Baptist Church. Second Friendship Baptist Church. In fact, I'm going to double check to make sure that we are actually over there. I can actually do that. Did you already do that?
No, I haven't checked it yet.
Yeah, we should be streaming live. Yes, we are streaming live to Second Friendship Baptist Church Facebook page. Yes, and I'm telling you, we got a special topic to talk about tonight. If you've been wondering how you can boost your credit and do some credit upgrading, we got some information and we got some conversation for you tonight. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. So if you're watching, make sure y'all are dropping some comments below, asking some questions. Because I'm telling you, this guy right here, he is hard to get in. Once you get him, I'm going to suck every bit of information and knowledge and everything I can get out of this guy while we got him live tonight on the podcast. And I'm super duper excited about it. Brother Rodney, you want to introduce yourself? I've already done it, but you got anything you just want to say? Just,
You are so gracious. You are so great in your and humble in your approach. You are actually the specialist. I'm just the intern.
The intern. Hey, me and Brother Rodney, we got this thing we've been doing for years. He had a good one today. Do you remember what it was? You remember it?
I called you. I gave you a new title. The presiding bishop of the saints who have linoleum floors.
I think it all started with the one that started it all was, I think it was the first presiding bishop or something like that of miscellaneous pulpit items.
Yeah.
Peppermints, water.
Yeah. I've had a day today, man. I had a good day today.
That's good. Well, you've been around the city today. I think you said you was all the way up in Lansing today, wasn't you?
I went to Saginaw. A friend of mine at the Tabernacle Baptist Church. Then I headed back here to Flint, and we had a phenomenal youth experience today. We had a youth experience all month long. Then we had a cookout party with a purpose right there on the ground of the Second Friendship Baptist Church.
Yeah, because I came by. I got me some hot dogs and a hamburger.
Yeah.
As I sure did. Them Kogels was on point. Was it just something special that you all were just doing for the kids today, or was it?
Yeah, we done the whole youth month. Usually, traditionally, people do one Sunday in June. We decided to do the whole month, excluding Father's Day, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a lot of professional speakers come and talk to them after services to impartate into our young people. That reminds me. When you get time, I'm gonna have you come over and talk to them about some real basic finance stuff.
Yeah,
they can,
Basic stuff.
while they're young, to
Yeah.
get the right road. I believe the younger we start, the better we have for a chance for us.
Facts. Facts. 100% fact. Because the stuff that, obviously they're teaching in school is not the real practical stuff that's used, every day.
No, no, no.
Mhm.
They taught us in school how to fill an application out. The big how to fill an application out of work for somebody else.
Yeah, they did do that, didn't they? And then they said, now go to college and we're going to show you how to fill out the backside of that application.
Yeah,
But we're
yeah.
going to charge you a lot of money to do that, to show you how to
Well,
do that one.
all when we all went to college, we go to college. There's nothing promised to you. You just
No.
you can walk away with your degree and never get a job in the career field that you chose. So
Mm-hmm.
we are talking
Yeah.
about something that you have control over on your own destiny,
Yep.
and that is
Yep. That is your credit. Do you, honestly, though, do you think that a lot of people don't feel like they do have control over that? I mean, because after all, it's not some ghost or Casper, that signs the name on the dotted line on the credit application. So, do you think people really feel like they maybe don't have that level of personal control?
I believe everyone. We may not want to believe it. I believe everyone has a personal control of their credit situation. I believe that uh, it all, and we talked about my philosophy of it. We
Yep.
all start with a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Credit begins with a mindset, and that's why it's important to catch our children while they're 10, 11 years old, 12, and impartate into them, the facts about credit and about finances and money.
Yes, sir. Hey, now this is a special guest we got here tonight, and it's like I said, it's hard to catch up with Dr. Williams because he is a man of community work. He is a man that has a congregation that he oversees and some other churches that he's
And I work.
involved in. Right. So what I need y'all to do on all these platforms that we streaming live to, come on now, y'all got to press the heart button and show this brother that y'all happy to see him tonight, because I certainly am.
I
Press
see
that thumbs up like button for him.
my friend Leon Lewis.
Leon is in the house.
Grace and peace, family. That's right.
Leon is in the house.
That's one of the great biblical scholars of our time.
Hey, it's good to have you tonight. So, Brother Rodney, so you said that we all have control over the choices that we make. And we all have control over how we choose to pursue knowledge that can change our mindset about things. And some of the things that I think really we need to really address is, sometimes it's an elephant in the room, and that elephant is blaming other people for the decisions that we're making that's negatively impacted our life. But we just want to point the finger at somebody and say, well, it's because of this, or it's because of that, or it's because of this, the reason why. And I think that is an elephant that is often in the room when people try to pass the buck on to somebody else and don't take personal accountability.
Personal accountability I think that is the language of a true adult. True adult. Been into adulthood as you could reflect back to adolescence or childhood. It's a common thing to shift the blame on someone else when you're a child.
Mm-hmm.
Become an adult, Brother Hollingsworth, you have to take ownership. You have to take ownership for whatever decisions you make. You can't shift the blame anymore.
No.
It worked when we was a child, but hey, even the book says when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child, but when I came a man, I put away childish ways. And that's a
Boy,
great for
man.
you right there in all your life.
Yes. And I think we should apply that to everything.
Rodney Williams trying to be like you when I grew up. Great expositors.
Man. Hey,
Yeah, sing.
He said he trying to be like you when he grow up.
I got to get with him too on some stuff I want to do with him soon. But
So remember we were talking some time back about when we were talking about mindset and trying to help people in our community to be better stewards over our financial situations, right? And so yesterday, one of the things I shared, Rodney, was I shared that discretionary income, what you have left over after paying your bills, is the measuring rod or the measuring tool or the barometer of how well you are at managing your finances. So what do you think about that? Because that just kind of came off the cuff as I was talking with Deja yesterday.
yeah, but discretionary income is the barometer which will judge. That would be the barometer
Mm,
to judge how good you are doing with your finances.
yeah.
Now, now the problem tends to come in with wasteful spending,
Ooh.
and I guarantee you, everyone
Mm,
that's struggling, there's a lot of wasteful spending going on. There is a lot. You may be suffering from income to debt ratio.
mm,
If you
yeah.
have an income to debt ratio, guess what? You got to cut off some debt or go get some more income.
Mm-hmm.
Stewardship, yeah. Stewardship mindset. You have to be a good steward over what you have. Uh, One of the worstest ways to live. And don't get me wrong. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I'm not. I'm. I'm. I'm on the right road, but it took me some years. Bumping your head. Then one day I woke up and said, "Man, several years ago, I'm going to play ball." And when I mean play ball, there is an approach. There is a game you must play when you're dealing with credit and finance.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I learned my lesson by hitting my head,
Ooh.
and I've hit it hard, hard.
Tell me about it.
And when I look back, this is what we were talking about this taking accountability when we become grown. When I
Mm,
look back over my life and when I struggled financially, it was because I did not have any discipline.
mm,
I had the income, always had the income coming, but I wastefully spent.
mm,
One of the first things I do, now I tell anyone, and everyone has their own philosophy about this.
yeah.
The first thing I do is do my religious contribution.
There you go.
Give back.
Come
I
on.
give back, Lord, or to the Lord's work, in essence.
Yes.
Do that, and then the next thing I do, I pay my bill. Bills are
Mm.
not away,
Woo-wee.
so don't hide from them. Don't hide.
Mm.
When a bill comes, we were talking today at church. Two bills, there are two or three bills. Believe it or not, I'm gonna clear the balance on every month. I'm gonna pay my house note and add to it what I extra when I can. Consumer powers, I'm gonna pay it. That's a bill you must have, and you need to clear that bill every month.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Because you need extra. Clear that bill. Clear that bill, and you know, I the payment plans they have are not designed to for you in actuality pay your bill off. It's just to make it comfortable, but you stay in debt with them.
That's true.
And then the third bill, that water bill,
Ooh.
and fourth, that Xfinity, if I got it,
Mm.
pay bills completely off. Because when they add up, they cost you more money because all of them have service fees.
Absolutely.
All of them have service fees. And so the first thing, write down, I'll tell you one when in manage, write them down. I write mine. I got a stationery up on the wall. I write all my credit card bills, but the bills I have over here to the left, those must be paid in full every month. So mindset.
Doc, you said something tonight I hadn't even thought of something. You said something like, we often, at least I try to help people to really talk about managing, their monthly expenses, right? And I talk a lot about building your net worth. And a part of building your net worth is making sure that you're paying down your bills, your expenses, and your debt, and accumulating assets like investing and stuff like that, so that your net worth would grow and thus your credit score would grow. But you said something tonight, and it's, because I'm always got my ears perked up, bro. I always got my ears perked up. And he just shared with us a mystery, a secret on how you can find some hidden money. See, most of us, we got like holes in our pockets. And when we talk about waste, we're not always talking about something deliberately necessary that you might be doing. But he talked about when you're late paying those regular bills that you have. He mentioned some of them: your electric and your gas bill, your phone bill, your cable bill, your water bill, your utility bills, and you accumulating those late fees. That's your hidden money right there that you could be investing by just paying your stuff on time. Because think about it: if you paying 5 bills late and all of them have a $5 late fee, that's 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. That's $25 every month. That's just going out to late fees, and that's if it's $5 a month. Your mortgage and stuff like that, you paying that late, that could be like $25 a month. So, or your rent, right? So you can find, probably most of us can find through assessing, are you paying those standard bills late? And if you are, start paying them on time, and takes that extra money that you've been paying in late fees and start putting that money in some type of investment so that it can begin to grow. So my ears be perking up. I heard you when you were talking, Rodney, and that's like, wow, that's a way to find some of that, what we call hidden money. Pay your stuff on time and you won't have those fees, and then take the money that you would be paying in fees and invest it.
Right.
Now, the man, but look, them hearts should be flying all over the place now. Rodney just let y'all on to something that could change your life for real. Come on now, let's do the math. $25 a month for 12 months. How much is that? That's like $300 a year.
That's a pretty good change.
That's a pretty good change. $300. Come on now.
And you can even take that for $25 a month and put it in a piggy bank at home. And do like me. I got a piggy bank. I had a crayon, but we busted a couple of years ago. But I got a glass jar. I put tape around it so I won't see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just hit. And then one day when I can't get anything in it, I got 5s, 10s, 20s in it. When I can't get anything in it, then I open it up. Then I decide what I'm gonna do with it. But
yes,
pay mindsets. You can build a mindset and a habitual habit. It takes like 21 days consistently to build a habit in your life. So start off and even if you have a great balance on those bills, this is where it hurts at. Well, I'm already down. You can make it. Pay a little bit extra to it, and it will come down.
absolutely, it come down.
Try pay it off every month.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize, even with our credit cards, sometimes we get at a point where we cannot pay it off every month. Now, I know you are not a fan of this, but I'll tell anyone, uh, uh, it's okay to carry a small balance.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. You go if you cannot clear it out, it's okay. Yes, you're gonna get a finance charge.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're gonna get interest on that because that's the name of the game. But even in your credit card, to carry a small balance does not really hurt your credit that much.
Small balance. Yep.
Yeah,
Small balance.
what hurts your credit is if you exceed somewhere around 9, 10, 11% of your total credit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a credit card that has $1,000 ceiling, uh, you can if you know your maturity date. I'm gonna tell you something. If you know your maturity date
It's
and
good. Yeah.
they report to the credit, there's two dates you need to be thinking about: the maturity date and the date they report to the credit bureau. You can max a credit card out as long as you pay it before the maturity date.
Before that date,
But if
yes.
you're not going to pay it, if you have $1,000 in credit, really, I'm gonna share some. All you have is $100 in credit that you can use and keep that balance.
Mm.
Never use more than that. If you have a $10,000 credit ceiling, only use 1,000 if you're not paying that off every month. Then you're not
Yes.
gonna move. But if you use, say, well, they gave me $10,000 and you use 5,000, 6,000, man, that's gonna bring your score down for what you call a debt to
Yeah.
credit.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yep.
they give you. That's why it's important to do good a little bit and then ask for a credit increase. And when you ask for a credit increase, if they took you from 1,000 to 5,000, now you got $500 to play with. That's why it's important, really, really, to really be in the credit game. I
Mm-hmm.
many of books and credit philosophers. You really need. This gonna sound crazy. 18 to 20 streams of credit.
See, bruh,
It
when I
sounds
start telling stuff about people having multiple levels of credit and stuff like that, or multiple cards and things like that, people be looking at me crazy.
if I went out today and maxed all of my credit cards out, I could and I could get the money. I could go out and probably get $110,000 worth of money on credit through my credit cards, but my number is going to come way down.
Right.
And believe you me, if I was going to do that, I could probably go out this week from around, max all my cards out, and come home with about $110,000. But I got to pay that back,
You gotta pay it back.
and then my credit rating is going to go down. You
Yeah,
know, which is what is in this day we live. What is more powerful than money? And that's a credit score.
man,
That's a credit score. I was told
man,
to use more than 30% of my total credit.
that's right.
That important. 30% is kind of high. Do
Hmm.
you mean credit cards or you mean with car loans and all that? Because I do not count the home mortgage into our scheme of credit. Now the
Yeah,
home
yeah.
bills, I call it almost like a uh,
Hmm.
fix because it's out there so long.
Yeah,
But that card will build that the house will build what I would call a substantial credit pattern because
absolutely.
you're paying it every month and on time. But what we
Yeah.
get in trouble at is with the cards and with the petty loans. Now Leon said I was told not to use more than 30% of my credit.
Of your
I,
cards, yeah, on your revolving accounts.
is that credit cards or
That is just credit cards for your revolving accounts. There's another percentage that's used for like your house and your car. All the bills that go with your house in terms of your mortgage, your taxes, your escrow. That gets lumped in the percentage with your auto loan. Those two shouldn't exceed about 36% at the top. I mean, at tops. You really don't want to go over 36%. I mean, people do and you can, but man, you're going to start getting real tight on the budget when you exceed that.
I see him now? Yeah, 30%. My max where I've been having success. Everybody portfolio is different, and people I've been listening to, and he says 30% available. Mine is 10 to 18%, and I've been having good success of my numbers raised.
That's good. Yeah.
10 to 18% if I'm gonna leave it on there like a month. Let's say
Right.
I'm just gonna pay, and always pay when I can't pay it off. Always pay 3 times the minimum payment, and the reason I do that minimum payment is going to take care of my interest and all my fees.
Come on now.
And then when you 3 time it, the
Yep.
other 2 payments are going to take care of the principal balance.
to knock down the percentage on interest that you'll be
Yeah,
paying the next time around.
yeah. And so always if that and they make it where they want you to pay the minimum. But if that
Hmm.
is $39, time it by three and pay that. I guarantee you'll knock it down.
And you know, one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on, because honestly, when I start saying about focus on your net worth, build your net worth, which includes paying your expenses down, that's really a pretty broad term, right? So having you on now talking specifically about some of the strategies and some of the things that you need to specifically do to keep that credit and the debt down and paying it off. This is why I wanted you on so that you can really address some of the specific issues and concerns surrounding that. Because it is really broad when I just use that broad statement and say, focus and build your net worth, acquire appreciable assets. That includes paying down your bills and expenses, and your credit score will go up as your net worth goes up. That's a really broad statement. So, like I say, having you on tonight really gets to some of the nuts and bolts and the nitty gritty about how to do that as far as the expenses and the debt and the credit is concerned. So I'm really glad that you're talking, really openly and sharing some tips and some pointers and some really details about how to do that and get it done. So I want to ask you, Rodney, do you think that if people, how I want to ask this, should they base how much of credit they try to get, or when you mentioned about 18 different credit streams, right? Should they base how much credit they should try to acquire up on what their income is? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And run it based on a percentage, or should they just go and just get as much as they can get and as much as they qualify for?
I think that the window should be whatever your annual net income is,
Hmm.
to at least have that in credit.
There you go. Okay.
See what happens then when a institution looks at your numbers. Let's say, for instance, you make $100,000 a year, and you have you have $100,000 in credit. Guess how much you're worth?
I know how much you worth. You better talk to me, bro.
You
Come
right.
on.
You
Whew.
worth not, and many times you got a house and stuff, so you're worth over $250,000. You probably
Yeah.
worth $500,000.
One thing that we don't talk about a lot, and I think I'm going to start bringing it up more, is what we call buying power
Uh huh.
and the importance of knowing how to develop it and how to use it. Buying power, because that is a powerful strategy when you know how to use it, and then when you combine that with knowing how to leverage it. So think about it. When you talk about having at least your net amount, your income in credit, then that's a part of the strategy on leveraging. Because if you ever have a situation that comes up, if you look at your network, your net income, and you look at your credit, you can at least know that if you had to, you could straight buckle down and you would have the income to pay that debt down relatively quickly.
Hmm. Hmm. You know,
And it increases your buying power.
yeah, it increases your buying power if you got $100,000 in credit and you only been using, let's say, 25 to 5,000 a month. Man,
Hmm.
and you've been paying good. One thing I'll tell you, people, if you do get in credit card debt, make sure you pay them on time. Use the three payment method that I've been using. Hey, it's nothing wrong. Sometimes things happen. You get in debt, but the I'm gonna tell you the best way is to go to your credit union, get a loan for what credit you owe on your credit card, pay them,
Yes.
and pay the credit union back that loan. Now, if you got a score, most of these credit unions don't care as long as you've done good business with them and you never overdrafted your account in the year and all that. Go get a loan because the interest is going to be cheaper. And guess what? You pay all them credit cards off.
Yeah.
That's going to boost your score. And they just one loan. Look,
Yes.
they sit there and play what I call poker and spades. 50 here and 100 here, this and this, and I done got in debt. But no, go while you have credit and get a loan from your local credit union and tell them you want to pay off. That's what they want. You want to pay off all your credit cards and pay one monthly bill.
One monthly bill.
There's a
Hey,
question.
there's a couple questions for you in the
Yeah.
chat, Rodney. One of them, well, actually, both of them is from Angela Reed. That's my sister. One of the questions she asked was, according to what he's saying, only use 10% of available credit. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
If you
absolutely.
boost your score, then what you do if that's not enough for you, go get another card.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Yes.
Card. But in each one of them cards, only use 10 to 18% of. And try, if you can't, don't worry about it. As long as you use 10 to 18%. If you can't pay it off every month, as long as you pay the minimum plus 2 payments, your score will go up.
So she also asked, is that philosophy the same with your car payments as well?
Now, car payments are a whole lot different. I
Yeah,
learned.
yeah.
It's hard. Car payments, what I say, you got to pay blind. Car payments is don't pay no attention to your statement. Just keep
Mm,
paying notes. And when I
yeah.
mean keep paying notes, if you pay 2 payments a month, uh, uh, don't wait till the third month to make another payment because
Yeah,
you have
right.
to gain ground. Because car payments don't let you pay on the rear. You ever notice
Yeah,
that?
it's rough. Yeah, they don't let you back in them jokers.
Yeah. So what you got is say, well, if I
But if
got,
you front end them, you can actually, if you pay more each month, and I'm assuming most of them will be structured the same. There's a few occasions I know where they might be structured a little different. But if you pay more that first month, more that second month, you'll start seeing where they'll say what you owe for, say 5 months up the road. Then it'll say you owe this much, which will be less than your normal payment, right? Well, I say keep paying over. If you said that your car payment is $300 and you're gonna pay $4, keep paying that $4. So even 6 months up the road, and they say you only owe $50, still pay that $4, because eventually
there you
you'll
go.
be ahead.
So they're not like a house note. You can't pay the note and pay behind,
Right.
pay in the rear. They're like if your note is $250 and you pay $300, what they do is take that other $50 and plow it to your next month
That's right.
200, and you ain't getting nowhere.
You ain't really getting nowhere.
You got to keep paying 300.
Yep.
You
You got to keep paying
pay
that.
400. You say, well, I paid 300 this month. Guess what? That other 50 is not going to that principal that long. It's going on your neck off your next month payment
Yep.
because it's a time thing. So
Yep.
you got to pay blind. What I said, I'm gonna pay $400 a month till I pay for this car.
Yep.
Oh,
And eventually you'll be ahead.
yeah,
Eventually you'll actually be like a month, and eventually if you keep doing it, you might end up being 2 months ahead.
yeah,
But you just got to keep paying it until it gets to where that monthly amount shrinks to zero, and now you're ahead. But
yeah,
then, even then, you still keep paying that 400.
yeah. They got us kind of locked in with car notes. That's a good game they got.
Ain't I know, ain't it?
Only way you gonna do that is call for a payoff amount and get
Yep.
some money and pay it off.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of got us all boxed in real good with the car notes, better than they do the houses. For
They
real.
do, man. They playing that joint out good. I did that with my Camaro though. I ended up, doing it, and then I just said, you know what? Let me go and get that $4,500, or it was like 44 something, and I just dropped it on there, and I got rid of that payment. And I'm done now. That joint, I own it. It's mine. Oh Lord, it's mine.
You drive it in the
I drove it to church today. Well, I drove it up to your church
what?
today.
I saw it.
Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. Do you drive it in the winter?
No, I store it for the winter time and take the insurance coverage off of it. And
Oh,
yeah, just put the comprehensive coverage on it and store it for the winter time. And then when the snow goes away, I call the insurance company and put all the full coverages, everything back on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something, and you just made me think of something. I know that's not really what we're going to talk about tonight, but I was going to, man, it just made me think about how a lot of people are lacking in their coverage for their insurance needs.
Oh yeah, I remember we talked about this.
Man, I think we better just come back to that one. I'm gonna try not to, that itch is trying to get me. I'm not gonna go there. We're gonna stay right here
Okay.
with the credit. I want to go there so bad though. So
Different
you
day.
want me to show that statistic that we talked about a little bit ago? You want to?
Let's do these last two questions, and then we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna
Yeah.
get on our statistics.
Let me see.
Done by Divine Big Pen Leaks.
Okay, you found it. Okay.
Yeah, it says never refinance a car.
Ooh.
That is correct.
Yeah, you're right.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Never
What
refinance
you
a car.
Now, what you can do is, and I did it once. I only did it once. I went to the credit union because as I was paying that and paying other things, my credit score, you know, your credit score is going up as you're paying stuff, right? So I went to them. I was like, hey, I'm at the next tier now. Can you all lower my interest rate? I didn't ask them to refinance the car, restructure the debt, nothing like that. I just asked them, since my credit score has went up to the next tier, can you all reassess my loan and lower my credit, my interest rate? And they actually did it. That was what the the Federal Community Postal Credit, whatever that credit union is. I've done that once, and I think you can do that, but definitely don't refinance.
See, the only time if you can refinance is you started in what I call a predatory car loan where they 20-some%, and your credit has turned around. Then that would be the only case to refinance if they would not bring your rate down.
Right.
I would
That's a good point.
when I go shopping, I would ask them, well, I'm looking for this kind of loan. This is how much I owe, and this is my credit score. Know your credit score, because if you don't, they're going to mess you up, because when you go there, they're going to keep shopping you.
Whew.
Even when you go to a car lot, already know your credit score, already know the debt you owe, if you've been on time the last year, do you have any late payments? Because guess what? When you go to any dealership, they want that sale. They go keep running you till they find somebody. Then you go see credit score, especially if you don't get approved. Your credit score done dropped 50 points because they done kept running you till they found Joe Willie that 18%, 33% interest to get finance you, and now you got a double problem.
Man. Whew.
So I go in there, I said, no, I'm gonna call these institutions and let them tell me their guidelines before they start running my credit.
Absolutely.
Years ago, man, I was like, when I got approved, but man, they ran me through everybody, and you got a sorry credit union if your credit ain't finna deal with you. If you've been there for any moment of time and been good to them, they should be good to you.
Man, bruh.
Good
right there. That's one of the moments when we could just say the doors of the church are open.
Yeah.
Because that man. Whew.
And like right now, let me throw this in here briefly. Right now, I'm locked in at in my home like 2.65% interest loan. Guess what? Everybody's been sending me left to get the equity and refinance my home.
Yep.
You know why they want me to do it?
I know why they want you to do it. Me and Deja just talked about this yesterday. Deja, you in the comment section? Didn't we just talk about this yesterday?
Yeah,
go ahead and say it, Rodney.
They want to lock me in now at a higher interest rate because I bought my home when the interest rates were real low. So if I get, let's say for instance, if I get $10,000 out of my house, or 20 or 30, now I got money which appeases me, make me look good, but now I'm not at 2.65% no more. At 5%, which makes a difference.
Yep.
So I'm never going to, unless I saw a good business venture that I cannot stay away from. I'm never going to refinance my home. As
So,
long as I got by a breath, if it take me 100 years, I'm gonna pay it. I'm locked
so,
in 2.65%.
so y'all listen to this. We've been dropping nuggets and knowledge all night, right? So
Mm-hmm.
listen to what we're saying here. When you refinance your loan, you restructure your loan, right? You go through all that. Remember, bulk of your interest, it starts at the beginning of a loan. You refinance your loan, restructure it. Maybe you do drop the term down from 30 years down to 15. You restructured your loan. So now that company is going to make money off of you because you restructured your loan and you starting to pay interest, a lot of interest to them off the top now. So check this out. Even though you will pay it off sooner, and they say you're going to save $60,000, $70,000. You don't see that money up front. They talking about on the back end of the loan. So check this out, you all. You sit on your mortgage, keep paying that joint, stay there 5, 6, 7, however many years you want to. If you're gonna tap into your equity, go to your bank, to your credit union or whatever, and ask them for a line of credit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then you have that at your disposal. But remember, don't go out and use this to buy a boat, to buy some garden equipment or a lawnmower, some big old fancy tractor. I know people do it, but I'm trying to help you. Helping other people excel. If you want, tap into that equity, use it to buy something that's going to also build equity and be able to cash flow, like getting into real estate or investing, something where you can make that money. You become your own bank. When you do that, you don't have to go get pre-approved. Oh, y'all hear me tonight. You don't have to go get pre-approved. You don't have to go and get your credit ran again 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 times. You already got at your disposal a line of credit, and you become your own banker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You borrow yourself.
Yeah, you borrow from yourself, and you're putting it into something that's going to be an appreciable asset that you could possibly cash flow and get more income off of it, and then you pay the loan back at a lower interest rate.
If you're going to get the equity out of your home, and I tell people, this is what I tell people, make sure you're getting it out for your realistic dream.
Woo, come on.
Business.
Come on, like starting a business.
You done the research on it. You see where it'll be profitable, or get the equity out of your home, and whatever you put it on, make sure it's going to be a return of money. Go buy a second house or apartment building, and let that pay that back and put money in the bank. Then you got a different cash flow. Because right now, where I'm working at, man, I just really got to mash the button. I got everything in the works. I want to go get my own auto transport truck, even if
Come
it's
on.
area. All I gotta do is push the button. And my thing is, it's been my fear.
Mm.
And I know the businesses out there, because I'm not interested in keep working like people. It's old saying, people that work never get rich.
Mm.
You can't get rich working for other people.
You
got to work for yourself. So
that's good.
here soon, I'm gonna find me some drivers and I'm gonna mash the button here soon.
Come on.
But the thing we got to think about, if you're going to get any kind of money, make sure you're taking that money to doing a business of your dreams. And there are a lot of people that have dreams.
Yes.
You know their work. You done the research, but it's the fear of getting over it, and but it's the fear of getting over it. But even the businesses you see now, they started as a dream.
Absolutely.
Some people
Absolutely. Two people we're gonna plug real quick. Deja Divine Leak. She's in the comment section. Y'all see her commenting. She comes on the show. She is a business consultant. The woman is finishing up her master's, her law degree. She has 2 businesses, one in Ohio, one in Michigan. She has like 45 employees. She's in the comment section, y'all. She does business consulting. She can help you get started, learn how to get funding, learn how to cash flow, learn how to structure your business, get your paperwork done. Y'all need to hit her up. Deja, drop your phone number in the comment section. Y'all need to call that lady and talk to her so she can help you. And her and her husband are right now opening up another facility. In 2023, they're working on it right now, getting it renovated and getting all the the work done and everything. So y'all need to hit that lady up. She is brilliant. The woman is like smart, super smart. And we want to shout out. Do you want me to do it, Rodney? We're going to have another special guest coming on to talk about home ownership. You want to tell them about her? Let them know who she is? Because we want to show a stat to you, but we want to tell you about a special guest that we're going to talk to. He's already talked to her about coming on, but tell us who she is.
Yeah, we're going to have Denise Yarbrough. She's here. She's a great person, a great and very knowledgeable first-time home ownership. And don't you have some stats about?
Yes, I do.
Home ownership and
yes.
And let me do this before we read that. I'm looking to get back in the trucking business myself. Yes, Leon. I would tell everybody that wants to be in the trucking business right now, do all your research, look at, and then when the bad part on trucking business right now, the fuel is so high. And but when it drops, I jump right on it because that is an industry that is really in need of more truck drivers.
Mm-hmm.
And money will be made. All
Absolutely.
Right, here's stats, y'all. We were talking about home ownership, and run them down to us, James.
So look here, Black families' median wealth is behind 24,000, and it's less than 1/10 of that of white families, 188,000, according to Forbes in 2021, June 18th, and much less than half, 42% of Black families own their own home, and that's compared to almost 3/4 or 73% of white families. And over the last couple years, that amount has dropped. One statistic that I saw said it has dropped another 14%. So that's important that we look at this and begin to evaluate why are we not becoming homeowners. And number 3, the Federal Reserve reported that the average homeowner, y'all listen to this, this is very important. The average homeowner in 2016 had a household wealth of $231,400. The average homeowner, compared to the average renter having a household wealth of just $5,200.
Those are some numbers.
It's sobering.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I talked to you about this about over a year ago. One thing that our people, I wish they would understand. Public housing, or what we call projects, were never intended to be permanent residents.
Mm.
And one of the most favorable sections of the Federal Housing Administration, and everybody know this, is Section 8. Section 8 is the act for reduced rent.
Yes.
You pay a certain percentage of your income, and then the federal government pays the rest.
Facts.
But that Section 8 was designed to be a temporary program to help you get on your feet. But some kind of way now people have used it as a permanent solution, which it is not. Yeah. Now, when you look at HUD, when you look at the Housing Administration, most of us are familiar with Section 8. But do you know there are sections all the way from 1 all the way up to 9, I believe. And Section 8 just happens to be the reduced rent. Now, Section 2, if you Google it, Section 2 of the HUD and the Federal Housing Administration, and Section 6, that the projects were created as like a college campus. And Section 2 says that every project you see has that community center. And
Wow.
that community center, there's supposed to be training going on for the people that live in these apartments, these projects that they call them, and people were supposed to live there and go up to the
Mm,
office community center to get some kind of training
mm,
and they get their training, whether it was in plumbing, electrical, heating and cooling. Then they had a career, and it's supposed to got them on their feet for
interesting.
them to move out
Mm,
and to get in the housing market. But somewhere that I heard about a case. I think it was in Grand Rapids that a person is putting a lawsuit against one of the housing markets because they are not offering that in the projects where they're living. But
mm,
keep in mind, it was only created to be temporary living. And I'll say this: uh, I lived in the project for a while. The projects, Brother Hollingsworth, every city were, and we talk about how bad they are, but they were nice living quarters.
oh yeah, yeah.
They were townhouses.
Mm-hmm.
Tore them up,
Mm-hmm.
and now they complaining about it. Man, that was good living. That was we call them the project, but them in a different neighborhood, them townhouses. I don't want to go too far with that tonight, but that was never intended for permanent staying. That was temporary residency, and training supposed to go on in these HUD
Yes.
funded
Yes.
facilities to
Yes.
people get on their feet and enter out into the housing market.
Absolutely. But
And
Rodney, I want to share another. We didn't talk about this, so I want to share this stat with you and get your thoughts on it. Right.
mhm,
So this here is a stat showing um, there were calculations done determine what the this was data from the Federal Reserve Board survey of consumer finance. They wanted to determine what is the probability of becoming a millionaire. What are your odds of becoming a millionaire? Why it's important to start early? Because these numbers typically wane off and dip even lower after age 40.
mhm,
So, what was really phenomenal to me was the probability statistic for black African Americans. It's only 6.4%. You'll have a 6.4% chance of becoming a millionaire. And the reason why I bring this up is because the statistics show that in 2021, black people, we are number 3 in America in buying power. We have $1.6 trillion of buying power, but yet a 6.4% probability of becoming a millionaire.
mhm.
So, Brother Rodney, what's your thoughts when you see that number and you hear that we have that amount of money, number 3 in America, 1.6 trillion? What's your thoughts? Why are we not using our money, our resources to build wealth?
Right. I believe I go back to the philosophy of starting with our youth, and most of the time, with the odds that were stacked against us as African Americans, our parents and sometimes our forefathers, they were in survival mode, you
Mm,
know, and we watched survival mode growing up, some of us, and it engrafted it into us. It was like that. This was a normal part of life.
yes.
Is to just make it, and some people become complacent and happy, and it's normal to just make it. You
Mm,
know, and I believe a lot of single parent households. We didn't see it exhibited to us, and our parents, forefathers, they were just in what I call survival mode.
yeah.
We had to make it, and if we made it and had a little change left, we were doing
Mm.
because we were compared to our neighbor who wasn't doing that much. But we had a little car that was more shinier than theirs. we thought we were doing better when in actuality we were not.
Right. Facts.
And so I think that has to do with a lot of factors. Uh, there's a whole slew of factors, but I think that has to do with. I think start young. I
Yeah.
think school, man. Where we had civics and social studies and
Mm-hmm.
health, and but there was never a class on career building. There was never a class on insurance, stocks, and
Yep.
bonds.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we talked about bonds a little bit, but you got to get them
Yep.
real life. You got to start buying bonds at 18 years old.
Yes. Absolutely.
Uh, there was nothing that really talked about money. The only gear we was on, they showed us how to make a resume and fill an application and go work for someone else
And
and
that was it.
open a
And
bank.
open a bank account.
Yeah, and that just the basic necessities. But you have right now, even my son started. He's 21, my baby. He started like 18, 19. He's good. He understood. He self-taught with the computer on investing, stocks, watching the
Whew.
stock market, the Nasdaq,
My God.
the not well as I know these terms, the
S&P.
the S&P 500. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
He learned this stuff on his own, 19, 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
The hunger was there. And he shared a lot. And I learned a lot from him. And he'd tell me every now and then, Dad, it's a start. And this one they talking about it's gonna hit pretty good. Okay, let's put something on it.
Let's do it. Let's go for it.
You know, and at 21 years old, I think he has. Of course, I don't blame him. He has some good stock at Nike. He has some in AT&T. He got some safe stocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's long. He can ride them out a long time.
Yeah. Blue chip stuff. Blue chip. High market cap stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So he can ride them out. And but I'm back to that Hollingsworth. I'm gonna sum it up here and let you talk on it. But I really believe that and we're gonna do some of this at church. Like I said, I'm gonna have you over. We're gonna talk about credit and the most basic of basic
Yes.
of finances.
Yes.
Our young adults, while they're young, you know,
Absolutely.
and teach them about buying power and leveraging and investing. While they're young. I have 12 or 13 grandchildren, and we just filled out the other day life insurance policies for all of them. Some of them like $3.99 a month.
Come on now.
Whole life, and then when they pay it off when they get 18, then that's theirs for the rest of their life. And
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Build
can,
up that cash value. Talk
yeah,
about being your own bank. Borrow
they
against your own. You know.
they can cash them in if they want to.
Yes.
So
Ooh-wee.
and I believe we have suffered because we haven't seen the need, and then we are attacked by television and advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Advertisement is very powerful, man. I always say I couldn't be in sales because really a good salesman is measured. His success is measured on getting you to buy even things you don't need.
Absolutely.
That's kind of goodness, but he got to eat. A good commercial will get you. My great uncle, he lived to be 105 years old, and great one of the best people in the world I knew ever in life. And he had when he died, he had every gadget you seen on infomercials.
No.
I mean, he had every gadget. He used to call me. He say, "Son, you seen the commercial about such and such, such?" I said, "Yeah, but you don't need it." He'd go order it. Why? Because advertisement, man, advertisement will make you believe McDonald's is good.
Oh my God. loving it.
Yeah,
Oh my
advertising.
God.
Really, your big companies like McDonald's, they're not in the food business. They are in the advertisement business.
Man, yeah.
But
Yeah.
McDonald's have nothing to do with their food. Their business is advertisement. Yep.
Oh man. Rodney, have you heard me say there's three things that everybody needs to do. Make sure you do. That's educate yourself. Number 2, educate yourself. And number 3, educate yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It can
You
be
know,
done. It can be done.
you say you thinking that McDonald's is good.
Yeah. It's advertisement, man. You be sitting in the house and one of the commercials they had that such and such one that looking so good, you be like, I got to try one of them.
Yeah,
And
the McRib. I think that McRib is disgusting, but man,
the McGriddle,
The McRib.
that's I don't know if Facebook will get mad at us, but disgusting. I remember one time I had an addiction to McGriddles. And now I can't stand a McGriddle. I had an addiction to McGriddle.
Oh man, as you were talking, man, it made me think of something, and I think this is very relevant to the topic. One of the things we just push, tell our children, go to college, get your degree, blah blah blah. Look here, I told my son one time. Let me tell you the very short backstory. He was on the basketball team at middle school, and the coach wanted them to run around the field, outside, around the big old field one time. And he was complaining about it. Mm-hmm. Coach made us run around the field. I said, well, how many times he make y'all run? One time around the whole field. I said, well, you should have ran twice. And I said to him, if you just do the bare minimum, what's required and what somebody asks you to do, you're not going to be really successful and really great at what you do. Mm-hmm. And why I'm bringing that up is because that's what people do with education and going to college. They go to college, they take the classes, they learn what the professors tell them to learn, they read the required study materials. But look here, the library is got books collecting dust. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you really want to learn and grow in knowledge, which is power, you have to do more than what is required to get that degree. You got to go above and beyond. The library is filled with books that is literally, I went to the library in St. Louis, and I've gone to the library here in Flint, Michigan. They have a basement in the library right downtown, or wherever it's at, down in Flint. And it's filled with books that they've taken off the main floor and now storing down in the basement that you can get book. You can go still check them out, but they're collecting dust. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, if you want to be successful, a lot of people just do the bare minimum. But if you really want to excel, you have to go above and beyond. You have to read what's not asked of you to read and do what's not asked of you to do.
Yeah, it always pays off.
It pays off.
There's going to become a day, man, because technology is so advanced now.
Yes.
You got so many people that are brilliant at home, and they're self-taught on the computer and stuff. I know some brilliant people that have
absolutely
never stepped foot into a university. Don't get me wrong. It's a wonderful thing to attend school, college.
Yes, absolutely.
University. But I know some what I would call some brilliant people that sit at home on the computer. And the last couple of years taught us a lot, and it was like a guinea pig session of seeing what we could do when we're at home.
Yes, and absolutely.
I don't know. I think coming up here, the only thing we're going to suffer from, and I think this brings about some of our mental conditions. I bring my cousin on one day and talk about that, Dr. Hope. But is we're going to lack socialization, interaction with people, because I believe there's going to come a day children going to go to school all the way through at home on their computer.
Absolutely, yeah.
I hate to,
Just take the modules and take a test to test out of the modules, and if they pass them, they go to the next module till they complete them all for that grade and go up to the next grade.
You already going to college at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can go to college right at home, and but the only thing I worry about, even God intended for us to have socialization.
Yep.
I mean, He intended for us to be around other people.
Yes.
Oh, and that's the only part that's going to be missing. Knowledge can be learned both formally and informally.
Yes.
Yes.
You see what Leon was saying? Yeah. Yep. And Leon said that knowledge applied is power.
Community. Yeah. Yeah. That is it. That is it.
So, Brother Rodney, if you had to, and I know everybody's situation is unique and special to whatever their individual situation is, but is it possible, if you're able to, could you name like maybe 3 or 5 things that you would say would be standard things that everybody needs to do to position themselves where they can make full use of their credit? Because I think some people don't know how to use it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why I'm asking that general question. Is there 3 things or 5 things, that's general things that everybody could do to make sure that they're maximizing and using their credit to its full potential?
Yeah. I would say, and this may sum it all up. You know how in school, when they taught us about fire safety, they taught us to stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
And and I would say, in your decision making when it relates to credit, stop, drop, and roll.
Mm.
Take a minute and really think about
Ooh.
getting into. How is it going to bring value to your life, and how you gonna pay for it?
Oh, boy, that's good.
Because really, credit, man. Don't get me wrong. You get a couple of shots at it, but you want to make the best shot at it when your credit is good.
Yes.
There's never a time when you cannot rebound from a bad credit situation. It may take,
Mm-hmm.
but it will happen. So
Absolutely.
as our credit situation, I would think the first thing is, uh, uh, think about what you're doing. Think about what you're doing, and ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Never be pressured. Number 2, never be pressured into doing anything you cannot think about.
Mm.
You know how somebody call you and they tell you,
Yes.
you need to make this decision now. This deal is not going to be here tomorrow.
Mm.
Guess what? I made a rule. If I can't think about it, then guess what? Deal off.
Deal off.
If it's that good, I don't need it. If I can't
Ooh.
think about it before I make this, they say, well, this deal only lasts here. When we hang up the phone, it's going to be gone. And they click over and tell you, well, I talked to my supervisor. He said that the deal is like, you're not going to ever get me in nothing like that. I done been there before.
Mm.
So asking questions, uh, careful in your decision making, and last but not least, pay your bills.
Pay your bills.
That's the biggest thing. Pay your bills and
Pay them on time.
pay them on time. Pay them on time. Pay them on time. And
Yeah.
that's it, man. It's getting late. I got to get up in the morning. I want to take me a Xanny and go to sleep.
Hey, y'all
I,
know what we need y'all to do though. I saw some shares and that's awesome and great, but you know you need to share this. Hey, in the chat, do you know 2, 3 people that need to hear this information that we've talked about tonight? Do you know that you can not only You can share it to your page, your individual page, but you can also share this information directly to them. You go to share and you can send it directly to them. Put them a little note with it and tell them, hey, you need to watch this. So share this content with Pookie, with Ray Ray, Junebug, with your cousins, with your auntie now. Share this information because it is desperately needed. Statistics show that like 80% of people are in debt, and the average amount of debt is like $38,000. So share this content. And thank you all for pressing the thumbs up like button. Make sure you do that. Yeah, press that thumbs up like button and press the heart button. But like I say, most importantly, as my sister Deja would say, like and share, like and share. Share this content. We need to spread the word to help people to be better stewards of their resources and finances. And I got a lot out of this conversation with my brother. I really appreciate him coming on and joining us tonight. Thank you all for watching. Once again, if you're watching over there on YouTube, make sure that you do subscribe to the Working People's Podcast channel. Press that thumbs up like button. Share this video. Drop some comments below right here on Facebook. Do the same on my personal page. Also do the same thing on the Working People's Podcast page. We're streaming to all three of those platforms. And guess what? We have been streaming live to the Second Friendship Missionary Baptist Church Facebook page. So right there, Second Friendship, shout out to the ship. Shout out to the ship. Y'all share this video. And thanks for watching once again. It's been James Hollingsworth on the Working People's Podcast, where everybody desires to build generational wealth and a financial legacy for their families. But guess what? That's the go. So I'm out.